Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another live stream slash video. I don't know if I should keep saying that. Anyways, today, probably see, this is basically the final units or updates till the anniversary that's coming out in, should be around 2 weeks from now, which is quite good. So this is the kind of time that you should be thinking about, should I go for this unit or should I save? Well, I'll go over everything later. First, let's go over with the new, I don't know why there's a connection now. Let's go over the units and Hark first. So, Granadas and a new SSR arc, kind of expected an SSR arc. Granadas we haven't had released as units in an incredibly long time. He should have been released ages ago, I feel like, because he's a Council of 10 units, and I personally feel like it would have made sense for him to be released ages ago, but I guess here he is now, so let's have a look at him, because he looks quite interesting, not gonna lie. Usually I don't really care too much about tank units, but since I've been doing a lot more arena, like literally all the time, he might be useful, and he also has some other things that might make him useful outside of arena as well. And even in like hard stages and stuff, tanks can still be useful, and you can build him as a healer or support tank if you want as well. So let's have a look. I don't know what I think of him yet, so we're gonna have a look right now. So Granadas does look pretty cool, not gonna lie. Do like the artwork. Looked pretty great, as expected. So, stats, first of all, HP is pretty nice. If you would believe it or not, Melee actually has more HP, which is quite funny. She has about 8,000 stats of HP. MP don't really care, strength, he can do some damage if you wanted to, but I don't think that's going to be the best idea. Defense, 1590 is great defense, and mind is pretty decent too. So yeah, you can see he's mostly going to be a tank unit. He does have a few skills which increase the damage, but again, you're not really going to be focusing on that much. You could if you want, but we'll see. So here's the thing that I was very interested in. The attribute resistances. He's got minus 15 to fire. Now when I thought of this originally, how he's going to be an earth tank, so that means he's going to be weak to fire. So people can just use Roy or someone like that, or even Demon Lord Rimuru, because of his skill 1 is technically fire. Does more damage to enemies weak to fire. So I don't know how well he's going to do in arena because of this weakness to fire. But if you can make this weakness like at least +5 or something, then he should be pretty decent, because he does have some other things in his traits which we'll look at in a minute, which are pretty damn nice. So +10 to earth, 25 to thunder, and nothing else really. But that fire resistance I'm kind of worried about, but if there's ways around it, then I think that's going to be pretty good. Hopefully there's paid equipment or something, I'm hoping. So element resistance, resistant to stun, he doesn't have any weakness to anything, so that's pretty good. I don't like it when units have a weakness to something, especially if they have a weakness to stun, that kind of sucks. But if they have like a weakness to poison, isn't really that big of a deal. But he seems pretty nice with element resistances, nothing crazy, pretty normal. So yeah, those are resistances. Kind of worried about this fire resistance, we'll have to see. You could probably improve that. So abilities, skill 2 has a lot of words, I can see that. So skill 1, frontal long range earth combo attack. Again, he's not really going to be used for damage that much, so don't really care about his skill 1. His skill 2 though, skill 2 is pretty similar to Ruto's skill 2. I still don't have Ruto, it's kind of sad, which is one reason why I do want Granadas, because I don't have Ruto, which is the only unit that has skill like skill 2. Wide area earth combo attack around the unit. Chance for temporary effect making all enemies target the unit. There you go, that's the same thing as Ruto's skill 2, pretty much. But it does do damage as well, so that's good. So you can like flinch enemies technically. If you're in arena and it's gone past 10 seconds, if they're not using that, then flinch everyone and make all enemies. One thing I'm worried about is if this combo attack pushes enemies away, because the enemies need to be close enough to be able to get this effect of making all enemies target the unit, right? So that's one thing to think about. Chance up if mind is higher than enemies, chance down if lower, max chance up. So yeah, that's just the same thing as Ruto's basically, which I do like. I have liked that because it's super annoying in Arena. I hate it. That's one reason. And I haven't had a chance to use him because I still don't have that unit, so it really sucks for me. But anyways, Spiral Charge. Instantly close the gap for a wide area earth combo attack, give mind buff, 20% buff to all allies, which is pretty good. And damage cap plus 4000. So I guess it could do some damage if you wanted to, but again, not really looking for the damage here, but he does have a... You could make him a DPS if you want to, like hybrid DPS and tank unit, but I don't know how well it's going to go. So, those are skills. Now, special skill. I do kind of like the special skill, not going to lie. I don't know how useful it's going to be, because I originally thought... I'm not sure. So, give all allies a skill slash special damage taken minus 50%, and won't flinch from physical attacks buff. So let's go over the first half parts of this skill here. So, all allies skill slash special damage taken minus 50% buff to all allies. So, that's pretty damn good, considering some bosses do use their specials, which are really annoying, so that could be really useful. Now, the won't flinch from physical attacks buff sounds incredibly useful. The only problem is, I think that most bosses more recently have been using magic attacks, so that doesn't really apply that much to most bosses, because I think most bosses do magic attacks or specials. So if that applied to all damage, that would be ridiculously good, but since it's only physical attacks, it's going to be limited on its usage, so remember that. But it is still very useful, because nullifying flinch for all of your allies on the team, we haven't had anything like that before, so that's definitely going to be very valuable for a unit. So I can definitely see that. It's just only physical attacks. Gotta remember that most bosses, if they're not using physical attacks, then it's not going to do anything. So that's that. So let's move on to the traits now. Traits have some interesting things here. Regularly give all allies physical damage taken minus 10%, and damage from bosses minus 20% buff. So I do like that. The only thing is, I don't know how regular it is, and I don't think it's going to apply at the start of the battle. I kind of want to know how often it is, because if you're in arena, you need that buff as soon as possible, right? So ideally you want it as soon as the battle starts, or really close to the battle starts, like at least 10 seconds or so, because any more than that, you're probably going to die. And even then, if someone's using like a nuker unit, which most people do in their attack teams, then they can just use a skill 3 and wipe you out instantly, which is one case. But if he can survive long enough, then I guess that's fine. But there's still some good buffs, and going to be useful against bosses too, because that damage taken from bosses too can be pretty useful. When only one weapon is equipped, physical damage 60% and damage cap 15,000, so that's some damage there. 60% is pretty strong, and the damage cap is alright, but it doesn't make him on par with the other single world units that we've got, like Lanceville and A2. Those are the main two ones, because I got both of those, and I use them sometimes. They're pretty good. Especially Lanceville is pretty good. I should try use A2 more often. Anyways, that damage cap and damage alone isn't going to make him a very good DPS unit. It's going to make him be able to do some damage, but I wouldn't think too strongly about damage unless you really want to. Maybe the paid equipment will change my mind, I don't know, but I think he's mostly going to be a tank unit, so this extra damage here is mostly just like a little bonus. Think of it like that. So trait 2 is where it gets incredibly interesting. Trait 2 has some crazy stuff, not gonna lie. Very good, trait 2. If attribute resistance is at least 1, so if it's 0 it's not going to apply anything, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Has to be at least 1. Won't flinch from that type of magic attack. I wish it was that type of element attack and not just magic, because that kind of limits how good he is, because If it also applied to physical attacks, that would be incredibly good as well. But since it's only magic, it's still nice to have though, but I wish it would have been physical attacks as well, because that would have been incredibly more useful in Arena, because then you can be getting hit, but at the same time put out a few skills as well, and not getting flinched. That would have been nice, but just nullify long-range physical attack damage taken. That's great, because there are most DPS units in Arena that people use are long-range attackers, especially Demon Lord Rimuru and Roy. Those are the main two ones. Even someone like Loxus. All the top tier units in Arena are mostly long-range physical attackers, so that's gonna kind of counter them a little bit. It is a random chance, so nullify defense piercing effects. Now that's also a huge one, because nullifying defense piercing effects incredibly useful in Arena. I don't think that's going to be that useful in hard boss stages or any other stages really, because I don't really think anything has defense piercing effects, but in Arena, incredibly useful, because piercing in Arena, I find myself using it, and maybe some people use it, I don't know, but I know defense piercing is like one of the main ways to get around tank units if they don't have nullified defense piercing effects, which there is one skill that does that. Nullify attribute ignore slash cut effects. Now that one's another big one. This trait 2 is amazing. That's another big one, because what this does is if you have like +5 to any elements, if you have a +5 to any element, right, and they use like a cut effect or an attribute ignore effect, for example Trishula, they use Trishula and attack you, it's not going to make that resistance 0, it's going to keep the resistance the same. So that is incredibly good, because even though I don't know how many units or how many people actually use Trishula in Arena, I know I personally like using it on at least one unit, but if it's a non-attribute unit, it doesn't really matter. But again, I think this is going to be pretty useful. All of this, most of this trait too, just applies to how good he's going to be in Arena, I think, anyways. All of this stuff mostly going to be Arena specific, but this can be useful in hard boss stages too, like won't flinch from magic attacks, since a lot of bosses do use magic attacks. That might be pretty good. So those are the traits. I do kind of like these traits, mostly this trait 2 is the main one here, and I do like his skill 2 as well, pretty nice. Skill 3 is not that bad either. So yeah, let's go over the skills now. There are some interesting skills here. 3 magic skills. I didn't know Roar was a magic skill. I thought it was just going to be a passive skill. That makes sense. Anyways, let's have a look. Charisma, all allies defense plus 30%, that's great. Especially in Arena, because you can instantly put that up in the middle at the start of the battle. Everyone gets plus 30% defense, which is great, because they're going to survive even longer with that Charisma. So yeah, very good one. Now Roar is one I'm quite interested in. So it requires 10 MP, which isn't much. Remove all strength, int, defense, mind debuffs from all allies once per wave, excluding some debuffs. Now here's the thing. If this was a passive effect, this would have been incredibly good, but since it's not as useful as I would have hoped it would be, because what I was thinking of is if it was a passive skill, then if you're in Arena and they use Theopolis to debuff everyone at the beginning of the battle, then this would automatically trigger at the beginning of the battle to remove those effects. But since it's not doing that, and you have to have the MP to use it, I don't think it's going to be that useful. But in harder stages, I think that's going to be pretty strong. But in Arena, I don't see it being incredibly useful. So this was another one. I didn't think this would be a magic attack either. Unit defense plus 30%, strength minus 20%, more likely to be targeted by enemies. Yeah, so this is a stance skill, that makes sense. So you're probably going to want to use this stance as soon as possible. What I would probably do in Arena, if possible, is use this stance as soon as the battle starts, probably. Maybe. I don't know how that's going to work on a defense team, maybe the AI would decide to use it at the start, hopefully, and the charisma, probably using the charismas first, I don't know, but they're both pretty nice. All of these are pretty nice. I was kind of hoping for more of these two to be passive skills, but they're still good. Resolve up 3, resolve up max, more defense in mind is great. Guard Vitals is a new one. Critical damage taken minus 10% is nice. Maybe we'll see that on an arc eventually, who knows, but possibly. Guard, Steel Guard, Heal Guard, Guard Charge, Grand Guard. A lot of guard skills which you do need for tank units because they're like very good. You must have those. X Guard. Haven't seen that much. I think it's on Ruto. When guard is equipped, damage taken during guard is minus 15%. When HP drops below 50%, guard rate up. So that's pretty nice. I do like that. Which you can't. It's not on an arc, so it's a good thing that he does have this. More guard skills. Oh no. Guard Bash is a new one. Guard equipped, when guard activates, chance to deal damage to nearby enemies and make most enemies flinch. Now this one's going to be incredibly annoying. I don't know how useful it's going to be in like hard boss stages or any other stage, but I know in arena this might be incredibly annoying, but I don't know. If someone's using like a unit which doesn't really get flinched outside of their attack when they're using it, like a Roy skill 3 or something, if they've already used it and you flinch them and the attack's still going on, it's not really going to matter. So, but that is still going to be very annoying because making enemies flinch, people hate getting flinched in arena. They hate it. I hate it. Everyone hates it. Night Zone, more likely to be attacked, physical attack damage plus 10%, frontal physical damage taken minus 10%. Shift Gorm has this too, so that is nice. Less damage taken is the main thing there. Defense 10%, physical attack defense effective against soldiers, damage from soldiers minus 10%. Pretty nice. Human Shield is great to have, auto fort. It's also very nice to have. He doesn't have protection, but I'm kind of expecting them to put protection on one of his accessories if he's got one, or an armor or something, because I think they did that with someone else, probably Shift Gorm or Ruto or some other unit. I know they did that. They have auto fort but no protection. Kind of weird, very strange, but you can always put protection on if you want. Stone armor, continuous stone wall effect, pretty nice. Now here's what I'm thinking, because he has this and he's an earth attacker, I think Mikasa's going to have a very incredibly hard time trying to kill this unit. I think this unit kind of counters Mikasa entirely, which is kind of sad because Mikasa hasn't been out that long. So keep that in mind. Mikasa going up against Granadas might be kind of difficult to kill him with a Mikasa, so remember that, especially arena, only for arena really. Earth Mega Drive, more damage and damage cap is nice, I guess. Attack raise 2, stone enhance, earth attack damage, and physical damage taken minus 15% is nice. Now all of these damage ups, I know he's not a damage type unit, but if you're using an earth weapon, you can put on Goddess Kiss, right? And you could kind of make him a hybrid unit, put on Honey Elixir or something on him if you want, and he's going to get a lot of MP back. That could be a good thing to do if you want. It's a good idea really, because that gives him another use. Because those kind of units, they can get a lot of MP back from Goddess Kiss. Being able to use Honey Elixir on the DPS unit is very useful. Piercing. Okay, I guess kind of weird that he has that, not gonna lie. Bunch of these skills down here are pretty good. Now this one's new. We have had stuff like this before. There's one, they changed the name of this. This one is Spear and Armor equipped, Spear Strength and Armor Defense 50%, so it's not that great because it's only Spear Strength and only Armor Defense plus 50%, so if you got 200 Strength, then that's going to increase it by 100. So it's not really that great, but at least it's more stats, so you can't complain about that. Two-handed spear, more damage cap, and damage, and critical rate, pretty nice. Spear high boost. I do like the spear boost because if you look, physical damage taken minus 15%. I don't know about you, I personally put on a spear on my shift gorm because the spear boosts make the unit take less physical damage, so that is very good. Having a tank that is based on a spear, so good. I guess you can argue that we've had one before, which is Reese, but she wasn't a full tank like this guy. She was more of a DPS than a tank, but she was also a support kind of unit too, so she's a bit different. This skill we've seen on Shift Gorm, I think, when armor is equipped, take killer and slay damage minus 20% and take critical damage minus 20%. Pretty good skill overall, especially Arena. Skill charge 2 is going to be incredibly good for his skill 2, which you're going to want to use. Indomitable Spirit is very nice. Lethal damage taken, recover HP. Skill damage buff. Duration of strength defense into mind debuffs taken minus 50%. I guess that's alright. Nothing crazy because I don't think there's that many bosses that debuff you really. And even if they debuff you, like in Arena for example, you can just use a Theria or Sarah or someone that has a cure all effect magic that can just remove them instantly, so don't care too much. XP received after battle 100%. This one's another main skill that he's got. This is a new one. I'm quite interested in this skill alone. People were a bit too excited about this skill, but I read Discord and you got to keep in mind when you use another unit, everyone gets less overall XP. Like that one unit gets less XP if you put in another unit because there's more units in there. It spreads the XP over the units. Even if you got this one and you put in a second unit, you're not getting as much XP if you were to just have that one unit by itself with EXP up 2. That would be a little bit better, so it's still better to do that. But here's the main thing about this skill is, let's say you go in an EXP stage, right, and you have that one unit on your team that you want the XP on, and then you use Granadas as a support unit from someone on your friends list, then that one unit on your team should be getting 100% EXP. That's the main use I can see. So maybe there'll start being some people that are going to use Granadas as their support unit just for this EXP bonus. I can definitely see that happening. That might happen, and that is going to be pretty useful for if you want more EXP, but obviously you're going to have to see people using this unit first, so I don't know how many people are going to actually use this unit, but we'll see what happens. So that's everything about Granadas. It does seem like a very good unit and kind of unique, and I can definitely see that he's going to be useful. Skill 2, making all enemies target the unit, very useful. And trait 2 is very good. He can do some damage too, and that EXP bonus definitely useful. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Charisma can be useful as well. So yeah, so pretty nice. And removing debuffs from all allies is pretty useful too. So yeah, I can definitely see this unit being useful, but is he worth getting? I don't know yet. I can't say for sure, but let's go over the arc next, because always another arc. So another SSR arc, expected that. HP, alright. Defense. Stats, nothing crazy there, just kind of normal stats. Now the trait. Boosts strength and defense based on number of living knight allies. Maximum of 20%, so I don't know how much it is per knight ally. I wish they would have said that, like 5% per knight ally would have made sense if they put it there, but I don't know. Maximum of 20%. and allies need to be a knight. So I don't really care too much about that, it's only strength and defense, so it's nothing crazy. Survive once and recover some HP first time lethal damage is taken. That's pretty nice. Nothing crazy though, basically like a, you know, determination or something. Armor equipped, skill slash special damage taken minus 20%. Now that's good, but again by itself it's nothing crazy. This trait, I don't really care too much about this trait. Yes, it can be useful. Skill, damage taken minus 20%. In arena, yeah, but there's most likely better arcs that I would rather use than this. So, nothing crazy. But maybe, possibly, but probably wouldn't use the traits. So skills, there are some good skills here. Vigilance, we've seen this on an SSR arc, I think. Armor boost, Earth Drive is the main skill you're going to want if you get this arc, Earth Drive. We don't have this on an arc yet, so this is great to have on an arc. Royal Armor, Sniper Shield, Aldana Iron Wall is interesting, but again, way too expensive. When party has at least 2 units and all are alive, physical attack damage taken minus 10%. For 10 SC, I'm never going to use it, ever. It's just too expensive for what it does, and all allies need to be alive. And at least 2 units need to be in the party, so yeah, I don't really care about that at all because it's too expensive. I'm not going to use it. But Earth Drive, definitely going to use it if I do get this arc, which since it's an SSR arc, it's in the permanent pool, so going to get it eventually, hopefully. Even if it takes like a year, still going to get it eventually. So Earth Drive on an SSR arc is the main thing. So Archive Reward, nothing crazy, not very good in my opinion. It's an accessory, defense and mind, I guess. Traits, chance to auto guard. There's no points in having an accessory that has a chance to auto guard because you can just use the guard skill, which is like 1 SC. So don't care about that. Continuous regeneration effect. Again, don't really care too much about that either because regeneration isn't that great for getting HP back. You can just use, you know, there's a lot of other options for healing. Regeneration isn't one of those options, really. 5 to light and 5 to dark. No amulet resistance. Don't really care about this accessory that much. I probably don't see myself using this at all, really, because there are better accessories to use than this. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of accessories. I can't really remember everything, but there are some other better accessories than this. Probably won't use this, even if I do get this. So yeah, nothing crazy about this arc. Mostly the Earth Drive. That's the only reason why I would like to have this is for the Earth Drive skill alone. Nothing else. That's it. So yeah, that's the unit in the arc. What I think, personally, Granadas is the main unit here. If you do end up pulling on this banner, then the only reason you're going to be pulling is for Granadas, really, because he is a DOH unit, and the arc is an SSR arc, so if you do some summons and manage to get the arc, I guess that's something new, but kind of sucks that you didn't get the unit, because he is a DOH unit that's limited, and pretty useful units, but the arc, still useful to have, I guess, but nothing crazy. And none of these are any meta changing things or anything like that, but Granadas, potentially an arena, but it's gonna be down to testing, and we gotta have a look at his paid equipment, which we haven't done yet, which we'll do now. So I'm interested to know what his paid equipment is like, because if it can increase his fire resistance by at least 10 or 15, then I'll be happy with that. I'm expecting 10, because if he does have something like that, then that's going to make him more useful in arena mostly, because Roy and Demon Lord Rimuru skill 1 kinda deadly in arena, so kinda need something to prevent that. So this is the event. There is a prism here, some gacha tickets, an armor, autocast protection, defense 3%. Nothing crazy in the event. There are some event materials though, so I guess that should be something that you should farm. not going to be... I'll look at that later on. Is there even paid equipment? Yes, it is down here. A lot of stuff down here. I guess I can look at all of it and then the paid equipment last. Seems like there is a spear and an armor, which is sad. But who knows what's going to be. So this is the one where you can do... If you do 50 summons, you get a guaranteed ticket to select one of these arcs again. I don't recommend doing this because anniversary's coming around and these are all permanent arcs. So there's no real reason to do this unless you really want Caldina or Sandworm. If you're missing one of those, probably do it because those are like the most arcs. You're gonna need those. Yeah, you do 50 summons, you get this ticket which you use to get the one of those arcs that you can choose. But it is anniversary coming up, so keep in mind. So let's look at the paid equipment. So there is a spear and armor, prisms. So let's look at the spear first. Just the stats first. 243 strength is nice, 57 defense, alright. It is an earth attribute, which is nice. Kind of expected because he is an earth unit. So trait, earth physical attack damage, 15% is pretty good. Continuous haste effect, kind of weird. Boss wave start, special gauge, 15%. Okay, but I don't see anything here that can be useful for arena specifically, so yes, that's useful for harder boss stages, but if you have Great War of Ruin, then this isn't really going to matter, because you can just use that instead to instantly charge your special. So continuous haste effect, I guess that's useful. Yeah, that is useful, because haste is a lot of SC, but he isn't really going to be a DPS unit, but his skill 2 and skill 3 are more of supportive skills, so that's a good thing. Earth physical damage, nothing crazy really for a spear. It is a very good spear, but for a tank unit, it's nothing really that crazy. Now the armor, I'm hoping it has some good stuff on it. If it does, I'll probably end up getting it, because these paid equipments don't come back in the future, in most cases. So even if I don't get the unit, I'm probably still going to get one of these if they end up being worth getting, because I could get Granadas in the future. That's what I'm thinking of. So let's look at this armor. Here's an armor. 280 defense is pretty high. 134 mind is pretty nice too. No HP or anything else, but still some nice stats. So trait, seems like there's a lot of stuff in this trait. Battle start, auto cast high protection and high magic barrier. That's a huge one. I really like that. That's incredibly good because high auto cast high protection is 7 SC. It is on a limited arc, and I don't think we even have high magic barrier as a skill on an arc yet. So that is incredibly good already. More likely to be targeted by enemies is also very good, especially for arena. And unable to feint from enemy attacks is also very good. Attribute resistance 5 to fire, 5 to ice, resistance to stun. Yes, I can see this armor being good. I personally prefer this armor over the spear, but it depends on where you're going to use this unit. If you're mostly going to use this unit as a tank unit, then probably get the armor. Autocast high protection and high magic barrier is huge. More likely to be targeted by enemies. Don't underestimate that, because that is very useful in arena, especially for people that do auto. The people that leave their attacks on auto can really screw them over with this. Unable to feint is also very good, because feinting is sometimes very annoying. So very good armor. Probably gonna end up getting that armor. Whatever. The spear. There's other spears you could use, but I do see the spear being useful as well. But not amazing. Haste, more damage, special gauge. Nothing a tank unit really needs, but if you are going for like a hybrid, or if you do want kind of some DPS, I guess you could put this on, or haste or anything. But I'm probably going to get this armor, because I like this armor. it seems like it's going to be very useful, especially in arena. So yeah, that's what I would think of paid equipment. Again, you don't need this paid equipment, it's nothing crazy, but this armor is just a very good armor. There are alternatives, like there's Godforge armor, stuff like that. Even there's a Godforge Earth Spear, I think. And there are prisms instead. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna get this armor. The spear is good, but don't really care too much. So yeah, that's the paid equipment. I would probably recommend to get the armor first, and then the spear, and then the prisms, but it depends on what you want, really. Probably the armor, it really depends, but yeah. That's the paid equipment. We will look at the events in a little bit, a bit later. Let's go over, let's do the summons now. I'm not entirely sure how many summons we'll be doing, because I do want this unit. I would like to have him a lot, because of the EXP, and arena mostly, because I've been doing a lot of arena. I'm always going to be pushing arena. Since it's my main game, I want to do as much as I can, so yeah, first of all, let's do the step gacha, then I guess use some paid crystals till we get the armor. After that, probably do a few temples and then leave it at that, and then a few single pulls. I personally gonna recommend to save your crystals for the anniversary coming up, because that's in 2 weeks from now. Maybe you want this unit, maybe you need him for whatever reason, maybe you don't have a tank, maybe whatever. But again, just remember, always try and be smart with your crystals, because if you're not like me, then it can sometimes go very bad. But let's do the step gacha. We will be doing all of the step. There is a free temple at the end, and then probably some other summons, but I'm not going to be doing as many summons as I would usually. That's what I'm telling myself, but I'm not 100% sure yet, because I do kind of want him a lot, because I don't have Ruto, and so many people use Ruto in Arena, it's just completely annoying. So I would like to have at least some units, like this unit, that can, you know, aggro all enemies. I will be looking at some equipment that I can recommend in a minute. Actually, I'm gonna do the step gacha and then have a look at some equipment, because I'm quite interested to know what accessories can increase fire resistance, because I think he needs at least more than 10. Okay, there's a blue. 3 showed up, but I don't think there's going to be anything here. I can say this now. It's going to be a gold, but yeah. I don't know what I'm expecting to get from these summons, really. Hey, kind of joined at the right time, didn't ya? This is the one time that I hope I get lucky, because I don't think I'm committed enough to want to get this unit that bad, to pity the units. Especially since there's a anniversary coming soon, which I think the anniversary should have Granadas in the Super DOH ticket gacha and crystal gacha, which has every single DOH unit and UR in there. It's only a blue. Well, let's hope for something new today. Like always, we're looking for reds, but even if it's a red, if it's a dupe, I'm just going to be incredibly disappointed and just jump out this window that I have right next to me. I don't think I'm going to get him, but maybe. Not here though, there's no reds. There's a red, but it's nothing. There's only one red. Phantom Robin. 90 unit souls too. I'm really hoping I get him, because I do want him, because I want to try him in arena very badly. I so badly want to try him in arena. Yeah, Dante base cap is 30k, but with Katsuchi he can be 33k. That's when using his special though. one people complain about Dante is that his skills can be flinched quite easily. Okay, I'm not gonna look at this summon. I'm just gonna listen. This is the 310 pull, so we haven't had good luck with these 310 pulls in the past. So, no idea what's gonna happen. I mean, I do have an idea, but I'm gonna try and be less negative. That's gonna be a thing that I'm gonna try and do. Okay. Enough animations? I don't think there was enough animations, but I think there's a red, isn't there? I don't know what's going on. Oh. I know what happened. It was one of those extra animations that I haven't seen in a while. Terror of the Granadas. So yeah, what I'm hoping for is if we get something new, I'm hoping it's not the Ark, because I don't want... I do want the Ark, but since this is a DOH unit gacha, I would rather have the unit because unit is limited. The Ark isn't limited. Yeah, base cap Dante is 30k, with his buffs at 5th enhance. That's only if you use a special and have a sword and a machine, or a sword and a claw, or whatever, because his traits, I don't know which trait it is, but the one that gives him damage cap based on a weapon, if you equip 2 different weapons, you get damage cap twice, so remember that. Okay, what do we do now? Well, I still want Granadas, but I'm not going to go super deep, but I do, but I don't, if you know what I mean. So, I'm going to do... I think what I'm going to do is I'm only gonna go for the paid armor, right? Yeah, I'll do a few more. I don't know how much. I don't know where my limit is going to be. I don't know. I'm definitely going to get this, but I'm not entirely sure if I want this. I mean, let me just double check what equipment I have. Inventory. There is a spear that I'm thinking of, which is this. Yeah, this one. You could just use this instead of his paid spear. Yeah, it is a nice spear, but this, yeah, I don't think the spear is needed. I would rather save the paid crystals. So, I think I'm gonna stick with that and do some 5 single pulls and 1 10 pull with paid crystals. Then that means we'll be at 25 to get that armor. Most of these are going to be skips because, you know, nothing on single pulls. Haste is nice, but I don't think it's needed. It's really not needed, because haste in it is not that big of a deal. Haste would mostly be for DPS units. Obviously that's a dupe, because that's disappointing. One more. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get this paid spear, just the armor. Even if I don't get the units, it means if I get Granadas in the future, then I'll have the armor to use for him. That's what I'm thinking. So let's do this 1 10 pull. Then I'll be saving the rest of the paid crystals. And after this, I don't know. Probably 3 have shown up a few times today, but we've got a few reds, but they've all been dupes. Let's hope we can get lucky here. Hopefully Grenade just shows his face, because I would love to have him for Arena. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing a few more 10 pulls and a few single pulls with 3 crystals, but 3 animations usually means a red, but if not, unit is a unit, but doesn't mean it's anything new, it just means it's a unit guaranteed. Some people get that confused. More than 1 red or not? Yes? It's not? Nah, it's nothing. If something, don't be the Ark. It's probably the Ark. It is the Ark. Well, that's disappointing, but I'm glad we got something new. So I'm not mad about that, but kind of am. But Earth Drive. Earth Drive is something I don't think Levi has this. I don't think Levi has Earth Drive. So yeah, that art's gonna be useful. But again, it would have been the perfect 10 pull if that unit was Granadas, it really would. Okay, well, if I have a look, I've got a few arcs I need to level up. I've been running low on blue souls, as you can see. Well, I was hoping we didn't get the arc today, I was really hoping we didn't get it, but... Again, why am I being negative? I don't know. Okay, so we got enough for this armor, which I am gonna get, because I do like it. There you go. And we will be doing the showcase of him hopefully later on. Even if we don't, I'm still going to be looking at the event doing that later, so that's good. So I am not entirely sure if I want to go full ham and pity him, or if I just want to do like 100 or less and then stop. Yeah, these units got buffs recently. That's interesting. I could look at that, but I might not. We'll see. Anyways, I'm glad we got something new, but at the same time, I'm also not. Yeah, he's not worth pity, but arena. And we haven't had a tank unit in like months since Shift Gorm. Yeah, but here's what I'm thinking. With anniversary, for me, how valuable is the anniversary? Well, I have every single UR. There's most likely going to be a new UR when anniversary starts. Most likely going to be a new unit as well. I have every UR and every SSR. I'm only missing Granadas, Ruto, and Zoglas. So if I were to pull on the Super DOH Anniversary Gacha, then I think it's better for me to pull on a rate up that is a 0.8%. To be honest, if I want to get something new, this is the best chance I have. Because Anniversary, considering I've got most things, I have more of a chance to get a dupe. But if I do want the new UR that's most likely to be coming for Anniversary, then it's probably a good idea to save for that. I don't know what my plan is here, I really don't. I mean, I know what I can do, but it's just I don't know if I want to. I could just pity the unit, get a bunch of crystals, just pull everything. I don't want to do that. But again, we've only done, how many? 41. I told myself I was going to do around 50 or 100, and then stop around that, but let's see how it goes. Also, good news. This banner lasts 27 days, 21 hours, so that is 27 daily gacha pulls, or 28 in total. for 100 paid crystals. He's definitely better than Ruto 100%. I don't know if he's better than Gorm. I think in terms of tankiness, yes, definitely better. But I don't know how useful he is in terms of usefulness. I swear, if we get a rate up SSR arc and not Granadas, I'm just gonna be flying out of this window. Okay, I'm not looking at this temple. Hopefully we get Granadas, because again, I told myself yesterday, I don't need Granadas. I really don't, because he's not needed in any shape or form. I don't think there's anything here. Nope. Ah, that's annoying. Why did you show your face again? I've already got your plus 20, I don't need any more of you. I got way too many of you, I don't even have you 5th enhanced because you're not even... But yeah, considering I don't have Ruto, that's why I want him, because I don't have Ruto. And Ruto's been haunting me since he came out. Has anyone got him yet? Granadas? Don't think so. But Ruto, I still don't have Ruto. And I would have liked to have Ruto, but game didn't want me to have Ruto. So that's why I'm considering getting Granadas, because game might not want me to have this guy again. This kind of tank unit. But I guess what we'll do is just stop at 100. And then, I don't know, contemplate my existence. Yeah, there's probably another gold. I can feel it in my fingers. Yep. I haven't actually looked at the rates yet, because they are normal rates. But, for example, if you get a rate up thing, then it's basically a 50-50 chance of getting the unit on the arc, because they're both the same percentage chance. So that's why I'm not happy, because we got the arc when could have been a unit instead. But again, it could have been a dupe, so I guess that's better than nothing. Zekus blue gold. Maybe. Probably not. No. Yeah. I swear, if you're another Phantom Thief Robin, I am not gonna live anymore. It's not new. It's not Phantom Thief Robin. Thank God. You're already at plus 20 anyways, but... whatever. I was kind of hoping for it to be Granadas, but... come on, another red. No, it's not a red, it's a gold. This one's not red. It's only 3 by itself. See? I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think I'm kind of liking these single summons, because 3 are showing up a lot, but it's a blue. I'm kind of enjoying these single summons, not gonna lie, because this slows things down and means I don't have to waste everything super fast. And if I were to get Granadas in this one single pool right here that I'm gonna skip instantly, no, then would have saved a bunch of crystals technically. Yep. No. Maybe the game don't want me to skip. We're getting golds. Probably gonna do another temple. And then a few singles. Yeah, but the thing is, golds don't matter. I think the chance of getting an SSR The chance of getting an SSR from the guaranteed SR, this one here, is the same. This is the same chance. It's the same chance as getting, you see up here, 3% unit, 5% SSR arc. Down here, 3% unit, 5% SSR arc is the same thing. So if you're going for just reds, then it's better to do single pulls. Because this SR plus guaranteed doesn't increase the chance of a red. There's literally no benefit to doing a 10 pull in this game. If you think about it, most games they give you 11 pulls instead of 10 to make it feel like it's worth it because you get one extra pull. In this game, doing a 10 pull compared to single summons is no different. How many pulls are we at right now? I still want Granadas, by the way. So we're at 650, 58. Damn it. Well, I don't know how badly I want him. We'll do a 10 pull and then I guess single pulls. I kind of like single pulls more because what is the most disappointing thing is when you do a 10 pull and you see that it's not a red, right? Then you know the whole 10 pull is complete trash. But when you do single pulls, each one of those has different animations. Could get something you don't know. It's just more suspense. More build up to what you could get. This one's clearly nothing. I can already feel it. I'm not looking. See? No reds. Reds are gone. Yes, 10 pulls are faster, but if you want, free-to-play players should never do 10 pulls unless they are step gachas. If free-to-play players want to save as many crystals as possible, then never do 10 pulls, only do single pulls, because if you get the unit on the first single pull, then it saves 2,700 crystals that you would have used on that rest of the 10 pull. Right? There's a skip. I think I'm gonna do many single pulls now just to prove my existence. I know Buddha's got some luck with single pull summons in the past. I have like once, but maybe a few times. 3 times? I don't know. Not many times. But maybe the single summon luck is what we need today. Doesn't look like it. Even though Tharia's showing up, she's by herself. She's lonely. So she doesn't have enough power with that loneliness that she's... Well, it's even more lonely when you got no one showing up. I know a lot of, some people just spam 10 pull summons. I don't know about you, it's just incredibly painful to see someone just spam as many 10 pull summons as possible. They just continue 10 pull summons, even if they get something new. If it's not what they are looking for, they just keep going and going. I feel that, I know, but it's expensive. You could use like thousands of crystals, 100,000 crystals in like a few minutes. Or you could do this, make it last like an hour, because it's almost an hour right now. But obviously not an hour of summons, but still. It's another blue, damn it. I don't think this one's just a gold, but animations carry me home. It did, but I don't think it's gonna change, because it's weird. I don't know how many pulls we've done, by the way. I think we're at like 72, but that's a complete guess. We haven't gotten a red in a while either. Why is that? No idea. It is entertaining seeing the units show up straight away. Happened like, I think that happened with Melee. Melee, didn't it? Melee was pretty good. Even though it took 240 summons for the damn arc, but that was actually pretty lucky, not gonna lie. 78, okay. Well, I originally said I was gonna stop at 100, but I don't know. I'm gonna look at equipment real quick, because there are some equipment that has fire resistance. So you need at least, with the paid armor it gives +5, probably need another +15. So, Sphere of Force jewels. Hear me out. Sphere of 4 jewels with Ring of Wisdom on Granadas seems like an incredibly good idea. I think that might be the thing that I would do, because I think if he's gonna be using Blizzard, then well, if you're on defense team, I guess you could do that, because then that means you're gonna get +15 from the accessories and then +5 from the armor, which is gonna make him +5 to fire, which is gonna be enough to trigger this trait to. Thinking ahead here. And it also gives, the armor I think gives +5 to light. Something does, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe ice. Not dark. I think it is dark, doesn't he? Or light. I forgot what the armor does already. Yeah, I do want him, I actually do. I said that, yes, I do want him because I can't look at it here, really. Anyways, let's go back to my death summons. Temple. I could save the rest. I could do that. I could go for the spear with paid crystals. Ah, it's a blue, but everyone showed up. But hasn't been that great so far. I could do a few more paid crystals just to get the spear. I said I wasn't, but hear me out. We've had amazing luck with paid crystals recently. Like, whenever we've gotten something new, we've done a bunch of free crystals, and then a few paid crystal summons afterwards. And then we've gotten something new from that paid crystals. There's a red, but it's an arc, because I predicted the future. More than one red, at least. Nope. See? I'm so good at predicting, it's the arc. No, it's not, okay. Well, I'm gonna do another one. 3 blue, gold, okay. I would like to see a red show up, but... Granadas, please, from this pool. No, there's 0 animations. 0, yeah, that's why I do single summon. I think if we do 2 more, we're at 100, so... I guess this is the point where we should be thinking of stopping, or keep on going. Either way, I don't know. Let's just get these 2. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll probably do the paid summons. I mean, because I just try and enjoy myself with this game. So, I just do what I have to. I think we're at 100 now, right? think so, which is sad, but yep. Okay, well, let me just double check the armor. Yeah, we're at 100. But one of those 10 pulls was 3 crystals. Well, actually, it was a free 10 pull. It didn't cost anything. So I don't think anything adds light resistance. Weapons can't add resistance. So light would be a problem, but there isn't that many light DPS units in Arena anyways. Guess that doesn't matter too much. Some people using melee. Okay. Well, let's give the game what they want. But this time something different. It's gonna be single summon paid crystals. Trying something different. Because you never know. Skip. Nope. Yeah, I'm not feeling anything. Just disappointment. And death. Yeah. So many blues. Thoria. You're gonna give me a blue. How could Thoria do that to me? She showed her face, but she still gave me a blue. You treacherous. How could you do that? Hey, look, even Lilibet gave me a gold, and Thoria can't even do that. No, gold. Next one's a red. No, it's not. It's a blue. See? Okay. I tried it before. Not many times, but reverse psychology don't work. Just kind of random. Yeah, I think I'm probably just gonna go get him. I have a feeling this temple is going to be a lot more lucky than the previous temples that we've had. No, I don't. Never mind. There's a skip. Yeah, well, it's not the worst RNG. Kind of average. Because if you do 0.8%, I think it works out to be like 120. I don't know what the math is. I don't remember what the math is. But the good news is we got at least one on banner thing earlier on. So that we're kind of on track for that. I think I'm just gonna go get that spear. If we reach 200 and still don't get Granadas, then I'll be concerned about RNG, but right now, I'm concerned, but not the worst. Nope. Yeah, 125 is usually where you would get something on banner new. Come on, I'm gonna do that. I like having at least 30k paid crystals just in case. Yes. I really wasn't expecting that. Okay. I'm happy about that. That's very nice. Very nice. Wait a second. Was that exactly 125, or was that a little bit like 124 or something? Anyways, I'm still having a hard time understanding his artwork. Where are his arms? Where is his legs? What? I don't understand the armor fully, but I'm Granadas. I'm not gonna lie, what I said originally was, I said, for Granadas, before I even knew how to pronounce his name, I pronounced him Grandis because it was a lot easier, and I never read the name properly in the story. So that's what I've been saying up until this point. Commander of the Imperial Guards, if I see any cowardice in your fighting, I'll whip you right back into shape. Prepare yourself. Yeah, he's like the training guy. He trains everyone with his fierce face of steel. Don't know what I just said. Anyways, I'm really glad that we managed to get him, because I was kind of starting to get worried about not getting him and having to pity because I wanted him, but we don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's go to the training space. Let's see, how many did we have to do? 124 is one below the 125 mark. That is very funny. How many are we at? 24 credentials or 25? 24. Well, obviously I have to do one more summon. Obviously I have to use 300 more paid crystals because I want... There's no reason not to get the spear. Because I'm so close to it, you might as well. Yeah, my RNG is decent. I wouldn't say it's the best, because it still requires me to do a lot of summons. But I'm glad I don't have to pity every single unit, ever. The only units I've ever had to pity, DOH unit-wise, Advocate of God Lily, Maja, I think that's it. I don't think there's anyone else, just those two DOH units. Melee I did 240 summons, but that's only because I went for the UR, so that doesn't count. Yeah, the summon rates are pretty garbage. I wish there was... See, this is what I'm hoping for this game. I hope they make crystals more available. I hope they make the probabilities better. If they don't make the probabilities better, at least decrease the amount required for pity, because it's just a ridiculous amount of money that you have to spend just to get one guaranteed thing. But I'm not complaining because we managed to get Granadas. Not Grandis. Granidas. Yeah. Granidas. Granidas. There's the spear. I'm not going to get the prisms because it's not a big deal. It's not worth doing. Anyone else got them yet? On my friends list. I always check that because I like checking, but... Okay. Now... Yeah, if they started separating banners... But actually, that's not... Since the rate up is always the same, doesn't really matter that all of the arcs are in there because the rate up is always going to be the same for the rate up thing. Okay, let's move over to the Steam version now. Then I'll be able to do my showcase and everything. This is the happy part. Okay, let's switch. Press this button. Open up. Steam's already open and I can just press the play button and then... There we go. There it is. Display capture. There you go. Game window. Perfect. Yeah, well, I really don't think that they're going to really change that much about this game. Yeah, I didn't do that update. I forgot to do that. But it's not going to take that long. I've played a lot of gacha games, but every single gacha game I've played I've always end up quitting because I don't know about you, I don't like gacha games when I get unlucky. Probably the same with everyone. But if I play a gacha game, right, and end up using like literally all of my saved up currency and don't get the thing I want, I'm more likely to quit the game, even though it's not the game's fault. Well, it technically is because it didn't give it to me, but I don't want to have to spend a lot of stuff just to get everything I want in every single game, so I try and limit the amount of gacha games I play to just this one. And Puzzle and Dragons, I still play that, but I really try and force myself to be free to play because they do give us a lot of magic stones. But here's this, think of this, Puzzle and Dragons doesn't have a pity system, so you can't pity anything in that game. But what they do instead is they increase the rates of rate up stuff. They have multiple rate up things, and they give out a bunch of free stuff. And what they do recently, or what they do often, is when they release a new Godfest, which is like the DOH units, but Godfest units in that game aren't very often. Whenever they release new Godfest units or monsters, which they have done like today, I think they released 2 new Godfest units, and they give you 1 exchange medal material which you can use to get one of those new Godfest monsters guaranteed. It means you can't get both, but it means you can get one guaranteed for free, which is kind of nice. That kind of makes up for them not having a pity system. But they do have pity, kind of, if you think of it like that, but in a different way. Okay, anyways, enough about that. Let's go over to Granadas. See, here's what I was thinking. Devan is all the way up here, and then you've got Granadas all the way down here, which is very strange to me, because I feel like Granadas seems like he looks like the type of unit that would belong up here somewhere, right? But down here you got units like Ardeen, Serra, Melee, Maja, you know, those type of units, and you got Granadas. It's just kind of strange, because I didn't think he was going to be that strong based on what he's done in the story. We haven't even seen what he can do in the story. Rule number 1 is training, rule number 2 is more training. A knight needs to be consistently tempered like steel. Sure, why not? Don't test my... I guess what that he's telling me is the game is testing my patience of summons. Like, you gotta have patience of steel to be able to get these units, otherwise you're just gonna be destroyed emotionally. So I'm gonna be saving most of my potions. I have absolutely no idea what unit they're gonna be releasing for anniversary in 2 weeks. I mean, I do have a few ideas, but I don't know what they're gonna do, because in the past, every single other anniversary unit hasn't been that strong compared to all the top tier meta units. There's no end to training. Saying this is good enough is how limits are created. I have no limits. Yet I think it probably is Adan or not some type of unit. Who am I thinking of? You know, those the units from the Great War of Ruin. If I have a look at that quickly, I'm quite interested. Probably Adan. Because here's the thing I'm thinking of. We have Serra now, right? We have Lagrabos. We don't have this guy, we have Ray. So we're just missing these 2 units here. Yeah, this dude was Linus. So what I'm thinking is what they could release for anniversary is either this guy or this guy. One of these two. Because it's most likely going to be this guy. Because we have Sarah, which was released in an anniversary, wasn't it, with a UR arc, so it would make sense for them to release this guy next for this anniversary. I think so. Shift Roland wouldn't, it would make sense, but at the same time it wouldn't, because we have Melee, Melee is a light attribute attacker. I've got a fully built, by the way. Amazing. Anyways, but let's go back on track to what we were doing. Let's equip the arc as well, because why not? Might as well do that. Sure. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying him out in Arena a lot. Because that's the main reason why I wanted him. Maybe. Possibly. I feel like Adan is likely. Or Shift Roland. I can't think of anyone else that it could be. I really don't think so. I do kind of like his shield in the background. It's kind of cool. I do like the artwork. It's just I'm kind of having a hard time understanding of what this is. What I'm looking at. The spear. Because we've had his artwork in game for like years now, haven't we? In story. I think it's the same. They haven't improved it, have they? So he starts with guard and his charisma. Phantom Robin shifts. How about no? I think I've had enough Phantom Thief Robins for today. I really do. I can almost get him to 100 straight away. Look how many potions I got. I'm saving them. No idea what for. I don't think we need another Phantom Robin. Or any type of Robin. I think what I usually do is get him to level 60, don't I? Or 40, what was it? I think it was 60. But he doesn't need it, does he? Because he's got the EXP up, doesn't he? But I want to at least get him some level, so I'll use some. At least half of those, that'll do. I can never get him to... I could get him to 100, but I'm not. Because that would waste all of my potions. And I'm saving those for... if there's a unit that I would... I don't know. And this unit I don't need to use as many EXP potions because he's got EXP up, hopefully. Okay, let's learn everything. What's his ward? I don't know, I haven't looked. What is it? Probably 1% less physical damage taken. Or less earth damage or thunder damage. Yep, I kinda knew that. I'm so good at these things. Earth damage taken minus 1%. Don't care. Okay, let's learn everything. There should be the EXP up skill here somewhere. I'm hoping there is. This one. Yep. That's the first skill I'm going to unlock. Perfect. You could make this guy a farming unit. Because he's got that EXP plus 100% skill. You could make him a fast clearing Imperial Guard Commander 3 units if you want. I don't think it's a good idea, but I think his main use is going to be for that. Training stages, if someone has a support with him. Genbu, only 1 star, it's not... okay. It doesn't have tiers to this trait, it's just the trait, you get it straight away. I guess that's nice. Well, there's 1 star, the first original one's down there. Okay. So what I'm thinking of in Arena, since I don't have Ruto, I'm gonna use Granadas instead. I'm gonna make a really tanky team whenever I have this guy fully built, I'm gonna do that. I think it's gonna be Granadas, Shift Gorm, Tharia, and Sarah. And I quite looking forward to that. But what I'm not looking forward to is seeing other people use Granadas. I really don't want people to use Granadas, Ruto, Shift Gorm, and Tharia, because that's just gonna be the. I'm hoping we have enough damage to be able to deal with those tank units. Really hoping so. Earth Mega Drive. Resolve up 3 is nice. Night Zone. Yeah, one thing I didn't mention was, you know those summons that we did? We actually was more lucky with those paid crystals because we got Granadas from those paid crystals. The game really does like me using my paid crystals just to get the things that I want. It's kind of weird. I have no idea why. We get more lucky with paid crystals than we do with normal crystals. It's like they know what crystals I'm using, and they turn up the luck factor whenever I use paid crystals instead. It's just very strange. Stone enhance, less physical damage taken. Amazing. I wonder how much defense and mines this guy can get. Because I've seen some people running Shift Gorm as their support units, and they have like 5,000 or 6,000 defense. Kinda ridiculous. I don't know if this guy can have more defense than that. Potentially. That would be pretty crazy. Like 7,000 defense. You don't even need that much. Oh yeah, you can. Oh no. His charisma increases defense by 30%. I remember that now. I think that's everything. No. Now it is everything. I did do a little bit of farming, but one more. Not too much farming. Here it is. So I'm looking forward to the events. We will be looking at the events in a little bit, but let's showcase Granadas first. So we've got all of his skills at 4th enhance, and I'm just going to awaken him a few times. It does increase his special skill. Okay, now let's move on to equipment. I'll be putting on all of his paid equipment stuff. So his spear, very nice, and his armor. So resistance to stun, 5 to fire, and ice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be using both of these. There's probably alternatives you could use, like, I'm going to go over that in a minute. I could go over that now actually. I'll do that. So obviously since he's going to be mostly a spear user and he's a tank, you're going to need to equip a spear. So equip any spear that you've got. The main spear that I'm thinking of obviously is this one, which I do have as a Godforge equipment. It is from a SSR Archive reward, so most people should have this because it's a pretty old arc. It only increases damage, but it does have defense, and it's a spear that is Earth attribute and increases strength too, so this is a good option to use for him. But if not, this one is a Godforge Spear. There aren't that many spears, not gonna lie. This one as well. SAT speed. That's a good one to use too, and that's pretty much it. That's the only spears I can think of that are decently good that I would use. For armors, this is probably the best armor I would put on him, not gonna lie. But if I just look at armors, you could probably equip something else, but armors are most likely the thing you're gonna want to use. Probably the basic armors, and if you want, you can put on this and make him a healer. I probably wouldn't do that. Possibly in arena. You could make him a healer, that's a good option. This armor is one of the better armors, so I should favourite that. This one's a Godforge armor. I still don't have it at plus 40 yet, but I should do that. But I think I'm going to use this armor on Shift Gorm instead, and I think I would rather use the paid armor instead, but that is a very good option, probably the best option if you don't have the paid. Then get that one. Or there aren't that many armors either. You could probably use a robe. Why would you use a robe? Are you suggesting that Granadas is a mage? I think not. I think you are stupid. That could be good. That's good. But they are robes. Well, yeah. Okay, that's all for that. And now accessories. This is kind of down to personal preference, really, of what you want him to be. I'm personally going to make him as tanky as possible for arena, and probably make him either spam blizzard or be a healer, one of those two, or both. Probably not both. But if I'm replacing Shift Gorm, then probably just going to put on blizzard and make him a hybrid mage tank. But for now, for like base content, just making him a basic tank unit. What I'm probably going to do, well, for arena, I know I'm going to try and increase his fire resistance as much as possible. I'm going to do that now, actually. Ring of Wisdom is a very good one to have, because the stats, 5 to fire, earth, 10 to dark, resistance to silence. I always get those names mixed up sometimes. Decent stats, don't really care, but the auto revival effect, very good. It is from Great War of Ruin, so maybe not the best option for some people that don't have it. Radiant Soul Crystal is very good. I do like this one, because 5 to every attribute, and some decent stats too, and a decent trait, more HP, ACT recovery speed, decent accessory. This accessory is pretty good too, but since I'm using his armor, paid armor, I have no reason to use this because magic barrier effect is already on his paid armor. Sphere of 4 jewels, I'm most likely going to use this because HP, nice, trait, very nice, attribute resistance is the main reason as well, because increasing his attribute resistance is pretty important because of his trait too. Now some other options, Cultist Pendant for when I'm using Blizzard probably, SAT speed if you want, probably won't though, just anything that makes him survive longer pretty much, like more revives, sure why not, but I probably won't need those really, and I guess that's mostly it. There isn't really anything else I can think of that would be a good option. Just anything that makes him take less damage, probably. Or Rimmer's Honey could be useful if you really want him to be getting hit more often. This one I do kind of like sometimes, but not that often. I do kind of like that. I don't think there's that many other things, is there? No. Ooh. You could use that. When earth attacking, chance to recover 1% of damage as HP. That is a good option, actually. Not gonna lie. I should favourite that too. That's a good accessory. That would actually be pretty good. Because he is a single wield Earth attacker. And I think that's it, yeah. Don't think there's anything else really. Yeah, so I'm gonna have his, this is what I'm gonna have on him for the moment. I'm gonna have a look at his resistance now. So, with that equipment, 5 to fire, 15 to ice, 25 to earth, 35 to thunder, 10 to dark. The only problem is there isn't any resistance to light, which kind of sucks, but that isn't a big deal really. And I think if people are using Shift Eliza in Arena, you're probably screwed anyway, because Shift Eliza has a charisma that decreases everyone light and fire resistance by 20. So yeah, that's a problem, but yeah, this absolute resistance here is pretty good. Nil to stun. Amazing. Yeah, because of his paid armor gives resistance to stun. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with this for now. And I guess that's everything. So I'm gonna level up this arc a few times, and then I guess we can showcase him a little bit, but it's kind of difficult to showcase a tank unit. So I don't know the best way of doing this, because trying to show his damage isn't what a tank is used for. So I guess, I don't know. I guess I'll just go in there, show off his special with skills, and that's it. Maybe what I could do is show off his flinch resistance special skill. I don't know how long that will last. My guess is most buffs last 40 seconds, I think. So it's probably going to be around that. Okay, let's try him out in the same stage. I guess I'll go with him by himself, and then I'll try putting in someone else to test out the flinch, probably. Maybe. I don't know. There isn't really a good way of doing this properly. Yeah, I do need honey elixir just because, why not? I guess I could do that. And put on his arc, because I want to. And let's just go. We should be fine. So I'm not really... Don't try and focus on the damage really, but I just want to see what his animations are like, how much skill stocks he has, and that's pretty much it. And maybe his stats. So immovable stats at charisma. I'm going to use both of these. Then I'm going to see how much stats he has. 3000 defense already. At level 46, not even built. I like that. Okay. Now, honey elixir. How much skill stocks does he have? 5, 1, 2. Holding 1 skill 2 isn't that good, but the good thing is you can put on skill stock 2. That's all you're really going to need. I highly recommend to put on skill stock 2. It's probably the main thing you're going to want to do with this unit. Because only holding 1 skill 2, disappointing. But not that bad, because you don't need to use skill 2 that often. It's not like the main skill you're going to be spamming. It's just probably the most useful skill. So put on skill stock 2. Let's start using his skills just to have a look. That's kind of spammable. I don't know what the range is like, but it seems pretty good. I kind of like this. Okay. Well, obviously it doesn't do that much damage because he's a tank unit, but still. let's use it. I do kind of like those animations. They're pretty nice. If they've got a wide area, that could be useful. So yeah, I don't think it does damage, it just buffs everyone. If I have a look. Physical attack, flinch, resists, cut skill damage taken, cut special damage taken. I think that's it. Physical damage reduction and magical damage reduction, I don't think. They might have been from that, I don't know. Now if I just stand still, you see he's not getting a flinch right now. When he's getting hit, which is nice. I do like that. It's pretty cool. Obviously he's a tank. He can do some damage, but let's just spam these skills again, and then we'll be off, I guess. I kind of like how fast he can spam these skills, especially the skill 1. Even though damage-wise it's not the best, but he's not for damage, he's tank. And what matters is like the range of a skill and how useful they are. The only problem I see is with a skill 1. With his skill 1, in Arena, if he uses a skill 1, since it's a long range attack, he's going to be far away from everyone else. So if he ends up being far away and using a skill 1, it means he's not getting in there and taking damage like a tank should be, you know. So that's one problem I can see a little bit. It's not that big of a deal, but it's still kind of would have preferred a closer range attack because he is supposed to be a tank. Getting in there and taking damage is the main use that he has. So yeah, that's all I can really do for Granadas. Yes, 110 units, perfect. I'll get that later. Let's look at the events now. So one thing I've got to do is change my events team. I was using this. I was trying to learn as much as possible as I could on Melee, because she was great. Let's go on the event. So training stages and nothing really. Beastmania still on. I didn't finish everything. I kind of got bored, not gonna lie. But then over the past few days I've been doing a bit more. Once I've fully built Melee, I kind of didn't do as much. I guess I've been doing a lot of Arena. Okay, there are cutscenes, which is nice. You don't really see many events with cutscenes anymore. So yeah, Granadas we've seen for a long while in the story. Some new training. Really, I would love that. I really would. New training. I want as much content as possible. Just give me any boss and I'll kill it, no matter what boss is. Give me the hardest boss possible. I swear. Go where? So I think it is a new event map. I think. Don't really know too much about this event, I haven't looked at it at all. Because I don't do anything, don't really look at anything before the stream starts, I just get everything ready. 50 crystals! Wow. Sure, I'll open that. Yeah, this is just showing all the events. So, ooh, I do love these events, not gonna lie. There is a spear, earth attack damage, auto cast protection, blah blah. Equipment don't really care. Okay, so this is like the story map, but not the story map. You know what I mean. Monster Collector's Manor. Oh god. Okay. What's in the missions? Bunch of tickets and stuff, and materials and orb recoveries and stuff. That's it. Training space. I had to look at that earlier. There's nothing crazy here. There is a prism, so make sure to get that. Because even if you don't get the unit now, there's a chance you could get him later. And tickets. I wish you could save these, but they're just time. So, can't save those sadly. All these mega clusters are good. So let's have a look at this event. Monster Collector's Manor, I guess have a look at that. Is there more story to this? There is? Ooh. I love these. I love all the story aspects. It's like my favourite part. My favourite thing. Oh god. I'm a person. Someone asks who are you, I just say, I'm a person is who I am. Hopefully there's some good stuff here. I'm definitely going to be doing all of this event in my own time, but I just wanted to have a look at all of this now. As long as there's no fishing, I'll be happy. Because you know fishing is like the most boring thing. Just sitting there pressing things, getting fish. That 8,000 fish was the worst thing. Wouldn't have selected anything easy. Better not have. They better be difficult. I like difficult stuff because I have a lot of things on my account. I should be able to do everything. If not, then I suck. Yeah, these look easy. Pockles, Grandworms. Okay. This is very strange, not gonna lie. I'm not used to this. Because usually I'm used to seeing the actual story map, which it isn't. There's a chest. Yay. Potions that I don't need. The bottle. Please tell me there's treasure maps. I love those. They're great. Anything else? I'll probably just look for stuff in my own time, because... yeah. Okay, let's actually go into the event stages. Just to have a look at what is in here. One time daily. So this is the bonus challenge. So that's like the main area. This one, Pockle slaying. I don't want to kill Pockles. So who has event points up? Obviously Granadas, first of all. I'm probably going to have to do this with a bunch of things that I want learn on him, which I'll focus on later on. Who else should I put on? Obviously I need at least some damage unit. I'm just looking for event points. 20%, 100%. Probably Eliza too. Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll go with that. That's fine. Equip another weapon. Should do that. Doesn't matter. I'll just equip a bow. Doesn't need to be a good one. And I say that looking for one. But yeah, I should have removed that accessory because I think she's going to be my fast clearer for this. Mostly spamming. Skill 3, probably. Let's go. I just want to have a look at these events quickly and then I guess I'll finish it there. Once we reach 2 hours at least. I like his normal attack, he just pokes them. Poke with like a super long stick. Kind of funny. I should have used Beast Hunter there. I know. So you can do that daily, so make sure to do that before it resets in like 3 hours from now, which is usually when they reset. So let's at least do a few of these. I've put on an arc that I want to learn stuff. What stuff do I want to learn? Good question. Vigilance. Blizzard. Sure. Why am I dragged along to this kind of place? No idea. Well, if he tells you to jump off a cliff, you're gonna do it. It seems like it. Maybe. I'm just gonna poke everyone. Poke. Poke. You're dead. More poking. Killed two. Actually killed things. I didn't talk about his hit counts, by the way. Skill 3 has 16 hits. Pretty good. But remember, he's not really supposed to be used for damage. Of course we won, that was so easy, I just poked people and they died. Sure. Okay. Well, I'm at least glad that they are putting in an event, like a proper event this time. Because in the melee events, there wasn't a specific event story or any event for her. It was mostly other events, which were kind of sad. There wasn't even a prison for her. Another map? Really? I don't know how useful Dante's gonna be. Yes, you could use him if you've got nothing else, but a lot of people complain about him being his skills taking too long, especially skill 3, being too flinchable is his main problem. But if you want to use him, then use him if you want. Nobody's going to stop you from using a unit if you like using him. That's the main thing. He's probably not going to be the most useful unit. Definitely not. I probably won't use him. Might try him out, I don't know. Usually with these 5th enhanced buffs, I don't really try him out because it takes a lot of time to build him, and it usually isn't worth it. Nero's buff was pretty good. V is still as good as he was. He didn't need to change, but he's better than he was. He didn't need to be any better though. Well, this is easy. Maybe there's more. Maybe you finish all these and then it unlocks another page. Maybe. Okay, well, I'm not going to look too far into this event right now, because that would take a long time. But I guess I showed everything that I wanted to, really. All of the rewards and stuff. And that there's an actual story and a prism. Very nice. So if I have a look, the units that were buffed down here somewhere. Amelia buff was pretty nice. I don't know if I should try her 5th enhance. I might. I don't know, because she was incredibly annoying in arena when she came out. You could probably do that again, but I don't think the buff would be enough for her to be viable in arena. But her damage buffs were pretty nice, not gonna lie, but only if an enemy is weak to ice. I do kind of like her. She's pretty cool. I think, yeah, this got damage cap buff. It's pretty nice. I haven't used that magic skill in a while, so I don't remember what it does exactly. And Rem has always been a great unit, so she is even better than she was, because she was still a very good non-attribute DPS unit. You can still use her now. Nero's buffs were pretty damn good. I think his trait 2 got is now 10,000 at 5th enhance, which is pretty nice. And I think his damage cap is around 25,000. Obviously, compared to the newest units, isn't the best, but it's still on track. Because what I think is 25,000 damage cap is kind of the average at this point, where we are at the game. Dante's buffs were pretty nice, but again, I don't know. I kind of wanted to use him more than I did, really did, but I didn't see him being that incredibly useful, especially since he could get flinched. I kind of liked his skill 2. I think his skill 2 is he hits them and then launches them up in the air and then shoots them, right? Or something like that. And obviously V is always going to be as good as he has been. His buff, he deserves the 5th enhance, he really does. I'm definitely going to do that at some point, but not yet. His trait 1 goes up to 7,000. Well, that's really everything. I guess my conclusion of Granadas. So I don't entirely know how good he's going to be, because it's going to be down to testing. I think regardless, I think he's going to be a top tier unit for arena mostly. I don't know how good he's going to be in hard stages. the thing is, we don't have that many tank units in this game. They don't get released very often, so they are quite valuable, even though we don't use them that much. The main use is arena, obviously, but he does have other uses, like his EXP up skill. This skill here can have very good usage if you have someone as a support and you use them with this. That's the main use I can think of. Then you get even more XP, which is always great. So that is very good. That's like one of the main reasons that he's going to be good long term. And since he's a tank, tanks don't really get outdated very soon. They usually last a very long time, so that's one reason why I can see. Another reason why I think he's going to be a pretty decent unit. And his special, giving flinch resistance to all allies, is also valuable. And the skill 2 is basically the same as Ruto's skill 2, which is good. So yeah. And his straight 2 is amazing. He can do some damage as well. So yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a top tier tank unit, like one of the best tanks in the game. But think about it, there aren't that many tanks, so it's not really that hard to do that. But Shift Gorm is the best tank at the moment. I don't know if Granadas would be better than Shift Gorm, because Shift Gorm can also buff other allies with the defended buff, right? That's why he's so good as well. And he's ice, he's got good elements and stuff like that. I don't know if Granadas will be more useful or better. In some cases he might be. As a tank alone, he's probably going to be better at taking less damage. But again, you never really need tanks. Tanks are never required really for hard boss stages or content in general. You don't really need them. So I don't know if you want to get this unit or not. It kind of depends. What I would personally recommend is to save, because Anniversary is in 2 weeks from now, and you really don't need this unit because it's not a meta changing unit. And I think Granadas should be available in the Anniversary gacha, which I don't know if you remember or know, but there's 2 gachas, one ticket gacha, one crystal gacha. They're both the same. They have every single DOH unit in there and every single UR arc in there. For most players, it's going to be a better idea for you to pull on that, because then you can hopefully get URs and hopefully get DOH units that you don't have, because there's going to be everything available in there. I think Granadas should be in there as well. Pretty sure he should be. So you could get him from there, from tickets, if you're stupid lucky. So also this arc is a SSR arc, so it's in the guaranteed gacha, so you don't need to get this one. I am glad that we got this arc, but again, you don't need it because it is a permanent arc. It's going to be in a ticket gacha you get anytime. So yeah, I don't recommend to pull on this because Anniversary is around the corner, literally 2 weeks from now. So I recommend everyone, hopefully you've been saving for at least a few weeks or so by now, because definitely worth doing that, and you'll see why, because Anniversary brings so many gachas and things available that can help players that don't have that many things on their account currently. So yeah, that's pretty much all to say about this Granadas, the arc, the events, everything really. I'm looking forward to trying out Granadas mostly in arena and seeing what he can do. I don't know if I'll try him out damage wise, probably not. But yeah, I'll have to try him out and do a bunch of the events. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for the stream / video. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back probably in about 2 weeks from now, which is when the anniversary starts. So look forward to that. I don't know what my plans are, because I have most things on my account anyways. I've got every single UR currently and every single SSR arc. So, and most DOH units, I'm only missing a few, some that I don't care about, like Leona, Ruto and Zoglos are the only ones I'm missing, I think, which I don't care about. So, I don't think I'm going to do that many pulls on Anniversary, but if there is going to be a good unit with a new UR arc, then I'm probably going to try and go for those. So yeah, that's going to be fun, hopefully. Hopefully not painful for my crystals. But yeah, that's about it for this stream. I'll see you in the next 2 weeks. I don't know if I'll be doing any more videos in between. I'm kind of busy at the moment because I've got a lot of stuff going on, and I've been playing some other games as well. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Should be in 2 weeks from now. Thanks for being here.